Finbiz 2030 is one of the most exciting projects that One Young World community has had a chance to be involved with. The idea sprang out of the involvement of the Institute of Chartered Accountants worldwide, being engaged with One Young World, running competitions every year to find the very best, most socially minded chartered accountants from all of their offices around the world. And the notion that given so many people in the age group, that means usually under 30, are concerned to see their businesses supporting and doing something to contribute to the effort of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals.
The purpose of this event is to raise awareness of the SDGs and, most importantly, the role of chartered accountants in finance and business, and in particular the opportunity to tackle the SDGs and taking a leading position to address them. The delegates here today are responding really well to the challenges and the conversations that are taking place, and I very much look forward to an action plan. We want to see doers. We don't want this to be another talking show. Obviously, the talking is necessary at the beginning to stimulate the debate, but the value of this session will be on the specific actions that these leaders will commit to taking forward to improve things in South Africa.
And this one in Johannesburg is the second one in the world. It's exciting to be here. But I would emphasize, having just returned from the World Economic Forum at Davos, that the great hope of the world in many respects at the moment is the continent of Africa.
It's become increasingly apparent how business leaders are required and expected to do so much more, if not from a moral perspective, then at least from a practical one, where we cannot expect businesses to thrive in failing societies. The Sustainable Development Goals set by the UN are not a nice to have, they're an absolute must on the agenda, and I look forward to seeing what some of South Africa's brightest young minds come up with as we launch the task force for Finbiz 2030 in South Africa.
The difference that can be made on the ground by financial businesses, because the change has to be done and it has to come quickly, and quite frankly, can we just move on with this for a new consensus, a new cooperation, and get on with it. And here we look to the young leaders in those companies to get on with it and effect the change that is required. And I am not hopeful, I am confident that this work will be done.
So I think the only thing that we need to make this happen is action. I think we've had a lot of talk, there's a lot of sort of reading about this, there's a lot of conferences about this, but we need someone to actually or we need people to take action. And that's going to be the one thing that that will set Finbiz apart from any other forum, is that if we can get this right and take action and bring these policies and procedures into implementation, I think that's one thing that's going to set everything apart, and that's what we critically need.
Ask yourself, if not now, then when? If not me, then who? South Africa's had some really big and exciting wins last year, but let's learn to set the bar where it really matters.
This is a fantastic initiative and it's already delivering. And that's the business of the day, delivery.
My name is Simonetta Juricic, Chartered Accountant and One Young World Ambassador, and part of the Finbiz 2030 Task Force. We are committed to solving SDG 8, decent work and economic growth. With our economy forecast to shrink by record amounts, never before has the promotion of economic growth been more critical in the history of South Africa. The Decent Work and Economic Growth Task Force has committed to relentlessly working towards achieving SDG 8 by adopting a two-part approach. 1. Supporting small business by pairing owners with skilled financial professionals who will provide ongoing mentorship during the growth phase of the business's cycle. And 2. Promoting South Africa as a leading global business services location, both locally and internationally, with a focus on creating jobs for our unemployed, semi-skilled and economically or geographically disadvantaged citizens.
My name is Lisa Liver. I'm a chartered accountant and part of the Finbiz 2030 Task Force. I'm a project lead for SDG 10, Reduced Inequalities. Inequality within and among nations continues to be a significant concern. Greater emphasis needs to be placed on reducing inequalities in income, as well as those based on other factors. including gender, race, religion, education, and many more.
My name is Stephen Story. I'm a chartered accountant and part of the Finbiz 2030 task force. Our team is committed to solving for SDG 13, climate action. We often hear that South Africa isn't ready to have climate action as a primary focus. It is this mentality that we will change.
I'm Didintle Letlape. I'm a One Young World Ambassador and part of the Finbiz 2030 task force. I'm the project lead for SDG 4, Quality Education. By providing quality education, we can broaden the opportunities that will curb unemployment through exposure and learning that will create employment in formal and less traditional sectors other than your conventional 9-to-5, relieving the burden to government. We intend on developing and implementing support programs that will help improve education, especially to those who don't have the means.
It is no longer negotiable for South African business leaders to maintain tunnel vision and focus only on solving their business's problems. South Africa is effectively in business rescue, and no business can win if South Africa loses.